What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What up? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy. Y'all know where my body be. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. As you guys already know, and if you don't know, this content is available in more than one space. You can always double back, watch the playback on YouTube. I always appreciate that as well. But also, you guys have the opportunity to lock in on the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search Chalk It Up Sports, and it'll all pop up right there in front of you. Plenty of content for you guys to lock in, especially if you're in the gym, if you're on the go, if you need to put your phone in your pocket and lock it up. You know what I mean? You can still have that content playing in your ear. And we always upload the episodes within the hour after the live stream ends. That's always the goal. Sometimes it's within the next 2 hours or so, but we always try to make sure that YouTube content is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We even make it available on TikTok and Instagram, okay? So make sure you guys lock in on TikTok and Instagram. I'm always posting clips. I'm always posting short-form content on both of those platforms. So make sure you guys tap into the content whenever you can. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the Philadelphia Eagles running back position. We always talk about Saquon Barkley. We give Saquon Barkley all the flowers in the world, as we should. Saquon Barkley is a top 3 back in the league. He's not 3. Some people will still say they'll take Derrick Henry. I'm not going to argue with them about that. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is a phenomenal football player. He's a phenomenal running back, one of the greatest, one of the best running backs we've seen in the 21st century. That's, let's just call it what it is, and we've seen a lot of great running backs this century, but Derrick Henry has to be one of the best running backs we've seen over the past 25 years. And Saquon Barkley has had one of the greatest running back seasons we've seen since Terrell Davis, that Denver Broncos season when they went to the Super Bowl and won it all. So both of those running backs are spectacular in their own right. Saquon Barkley is kind of having a little bit of a resurgence, so to speak. The last time he had a season as dominant was that rookie year. But regardless, though, Saquon is the hottest thing moving right now. Reigning Offensive Player of the Year, reigning Super Bowl champion, reigning rushing leader. So Saquon Barkley has earned all the love he's been getting, but I'm not going to argue with somebody if they take Derrick Henry. I mean, he's phenomenal. It all depends on your flavor of the week, right? If you prefer Derrick Henry style, you got it right there. If you like Saquon style, you got it right there. If you like Josh Jacobs style, you got it right there. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey. There's so many great running backs in this league, so just pretty much choose your flavor of the month. But I want to talk to you guys about the other guys in the building, the other running backs. I want to talk to you guys about Will Shipley, AJ Dillon, guys like that, because when I think about Saquon Barkley's season, the season he's coming off of, like I said, ran an offensive player of the year, broke the record for most rushing yards in an entire season. That's regular season and playoffs included. He had one of the greatest runs we've seen from a running back, right? And I think about the workload he had to deal with, right? And I don't know how sustainable that is over the duration of his contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I don't expect Saquon Barkley to rush for 2,000 yards every single season. I don't think that's realistic. Can he come close, right? Or, can we see seasons where he rushes for 1,600, 1,800, whatever it may be? Yeah, right? Will there be a season, or can he have a season where he has over 2,000 total yards from scrimmage, right? Maybe he has 1,500 rushing, 500 receiving. All that stuff is entirely possible, but I have a hard time believing that Saquon Barkley will be able to put up close to 500 touches like he did in 2024. In 2024, he had 378 total touches in the regular season, and he had 104 total touches in the playoffs. So you do the math on that, 378 plus 104, that's 482. So Saquon had 482 total touches in 2024. I don't know if you guys double back and did the math on that or checked it out, because sometimes we get so caught up on the yards and the touchdowns. But if you add up the regular season and the playoffs from last year, Saquon had 482 total touches. That's damn near 500 touches. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. He ended up having. Well, let me make sure I got this right here. He had over 2,200 yards in the regular season, and he had over 574 yards. He had 574 yards in the playoffs. So 574. Let's do some quick math real quick. 574 plus 2,283. Let's see what we got here. Saquon by himself. Saquon accounted for over 2,800 yards from scrimmage. 2,800. 2,857. And he got that on a grand total of 482 touches. 482 total touches, 2,857 total yards. That's nuts. Excuse me. That's ridiculous. So I just don't think Saquon can sustain that over the duration of his contract. I don't know how realistic that is. And every season takes on an identity of its own, right? Every season has its own requirements from your starters. But I think it's going to be really important for guys like Will Shipley and AJ Dillon to become a factor in 2025. And AJ Dillon, he's coming off of an off year. He didn't play in 2024 because he had a neck stinger that he sustained in the off season. So he didn't play in 2024 at all. So he has fresh legs, right? The question is, can he stay healthy throughout the off season, throughout training camp and so on and so forth? He's been healthy throughout OTAs and mandatory minicamp. So far, so good. But can AJ Dillon stay healthy throughout the preseason where he's going to get more reps? Can he stay healthy throughout the regular season, right? I expect AJ Dillon to make this roster, especially if he's healthy. He's a great change of pace back. He's more of a power back, right? Saquon's more of a all-purpose bell cow feature back. He can do everything you need him to do. He's elusive. He can run with power. He can catch the ball from the backfield. He can do everything. Will Shipley, more of a scat back, right? Can catch the ball from the backfield, elusive, that one cut guy. But, it's going to be really important for guys like Will Shipley and A.J. Dillon to take advantage of their carries. Kenny Gainwell's not here anymore. And I think I expected Will Shipley to get more reps going into the 2025 season. Then they signed A.J. Dillon, so that kind of offset in my projection a little bit. But because A.J. Dillon and Will Shipley are so different in their skill sets, I'm going to be really curious to see how Kevin Patullo deploys those guys, especially when they relieve Saquon Barkley. Because I'm intrigued by Will Shipley, personally. I'm intrigued by his skill set. I'm intrigued by Will Shipley's ability to make things happen in the open field. He's very unassuming. But whenever I've seen Will Shipley get his hands on the football, it seemed like he always was making something happen, right? And look, his numbers aren't gaudy at all. His numbers are very pedestrian, if that, right? I mean, he was the third string running back. He was a rookie last year. Kenny Gainwell was ahead of him, so you couldn't expect much from Will Shipley in 2020 and 2024. You couldn't. He was a third string back behind Kenny Gainwell and Saquon, so expectations were very low. But whenever he did get an opportunity, I always was pleased with what I saw. I really liked what I saw from him in the preseason last season. I really liked what I saw from him then. But I was looking at some of his highlights, and he doesn't have many, but I was just looking at how he moves. Right? I've seen him make guys miss. He can catch the ball. He runs with power himself. He's not afraid to get busy in between the tackles. He's pretty decisive as a runner. I would love to see Will Shipley get more opportunities, especially in 2025. And again, I think it's going to be so important. It's going to be so important for Will Shipley to take that next step in his development, whatever that looks like for him, right? If that's getting stronger, getting faster, putting some more weight on, whatever it may be. Will Shipley is somebody who I think can be very interesting for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially in the passing game. I would love to see scenarios where you see Will Shipley in the backfield with Saquon. The Eagles line up in 21 personnel, meaning 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. I'm sorry, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 running backs. I would love to see a situation where I see A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and Will Shipley. I think that would be interesting to see what they're capable of pulling out of their hat with that personnel grouping, because that's going to stress the defense even more. The teams already expect the Eagles to run hard with Saquon. They expect that, right? So make sure you guys have your antennas up in 2025. Teams are going to double down on Saquon again. They're going to try to force Jalen Hurts to beat him like they did in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is going to do what Jalen Hurts does. He's going to air it out. He's going to be dominant. He's going to be explosive. We're going to expect that. But I think it's going to be important to add the running backs to the passing game. I don't know if Saquon's going to have this. I don't know if Saquon's going to have the same amount of rush attempts this year, but I definitely think he's going to have more more receptions. I don't know. I got this feeling that Kevin Patullo is going to utilize his running backs in the passing game way more. I got this feeling that we're going to have a better year in terms of running back screens. I don't know. I have nothing to substantiate that claim. I have no evidence to substantiate that prediction, but I just got this feeling. Maybe it's a want, maybe it's a desire. I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I just had this feeling. I just had this feeling that the Eagles are going to utilize their running backs in the passing game way more this year. And I think that's prime real estate for Will Shipley to get involved, especially if we're trying to make sure Saquon is good to go all year long. Again, 482 touches, over what is that? Over 2,800 total yards from scrimmage. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we'll see, right? We'll see how that turns out. I like Will Shipley. Like Will Shipley, he was a very productive running back in college, and he's 5'11", 209, right? Drafted in the 4th round, 127th overall, 22 years old. He's a young guy. And in 2024, he had 38 touches, 194 total yards from scrimmage, and 1 touchdown. That's the regular season and playoffs included. Again, he was behind Gainwell, so you can't really get mad at his numbers. And Saquon had that kind of a season, so we can't really kill Shipley for his numbers in 2024. But then that Gainwell was gone, and you think about Will Shipley's skill set and what he was able to do in college. I don't see why Will Shipley can't get involved more in this offense. Now, look, you got A.J. Brown, Saquon, Goddard, Smitty, Hurts. Like Shipley's touches is probably the last thing on the Eagles' mind right now. But I think if you're going to take this offense to the next level, if you're going to expand its capabilities, you have to make sure everybody's a threat, even your second or third string running back. You have to make them respect any and everybody on that football field. And I think that's what the Eagles did a good enough job of in 2024. You had to respect everybody. You had to respect AJ, Smitty. You had to respect Jalen Hurts' ability to run, his ability to pass. You had to respect Saquon's ability to run, his ability to pass, his ability to block. You had to respect Goddard and that power that he moves with and that power he plays. So you had to respect the offensive line and the versatility. And just there were so many angles. The Eagles were able to expose opposing defenses with that it's hard to game plan against them. So then you add Will Shipley into that combination. And I didn't get to A.J. Dillon yet. I will. But Will Shipley, you add him to that conversation. You add him to the again, I want to see some 21 personnel. I want to see some 2 running back sets with Jalen Hurts back there. I want to see some creativity. I want to see some misdirection. I want to see some more running back screens. That's prime real estate for Saquon Barkley and Will Shipley. Prime real estate. Let me get to these super chats real quick. I really do appreciate you guys. Shout out to my man Tyler Broswell with the $20 super chat, man. The Dubski. Shout out to my man T Bros. Ty B-Well. Shout out to my guy, man. He says, go Birds. You already know, Tyler, man. I really do appreciate the donation. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way. You guys do a phenomenal job at supporting the show. Make sure you guys keep it up, man. Thank you for the 20, Tyler Broswell. Means a lot. And we got my man Alex in the building. Alex with the $4.99 super chat. He says, did you see PFF drop their top duos at every position? Eagles had top tackles, interior D tackles, and linebackers and quarterbacks. They looked at outside duos only. Let me look. Oh, he says cornerbacks, they looked at outside duos only. Okay, all right, I see. So that means they probably didn't include Quinyon and Coop because Coop plays inside, of course. Let me look it up though. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll pull it up and then we'll tap into it. Once I finish my running back conversation. Let me see here. All right. Trying to see PFF, see what they got. Top 10 returning head coaches, receiving core rankings, running back unit rankings. Here it goes. NFL's best duos at every position. Got it. All right. So here we go. All right. Hold on. This is very inconsistent. Hold on. I got to get into this at some point. Shout out to my man Alex. I appreciate it, man. Let me finish my running back talk real quick. So, once again, shout out to my man Tyler Brow as well with the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, I want to see 21 personnel. I want to see more running back screens. I want to see more of an impact from Will Shipley in the passing game, if not the running game, the passing game, man. He knows how to make guys miss. He runs with power. And the thing is, he doesn't get many touches. So whenever he does get a touch, he intends on running with reckless abandon, which I love. Right. So I want to see more of that. I even want to see 21 personnel with AJ Dillon in the fold. Right. You see, Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, and AJ Dillon, they're so unique in their skill sets. They're so different. Right. Again, Saquon is like that all-purpose guy. He can do everything. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball, get open. He can get freaky in space, make guys miss, runs with power, elusive, can block. He can do everything. Right. Then you got AJ Dillon, or you got Will Shipley, who's more of that scat back, can catch the ball from the backfield. You may use him on third down, something like that, depending on the situation, if Saquon needs some rest. Then you got AJ Dillon, who's just a pure power back. He can catch the ball from the backfield. I mean, his production indicates that he can do that for you if that's what you need him to do, right? If you throw it to him, he's going to get you some yards. But more notably, AJ Dillon is a power back. He's a power back. And he's going to run you over. He's going to get you them short yards. He's going to get you them tough yards. He's going to maneuver very well through all the junk. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see how they use the running backs this year. All right, let's see here. Wide receiver rankings. Okay. Anyway. But AJ Dillon, Will Shipley, they got to find a way to get that going. Dank Bergang says they don't screen very well. I think they don't screen well because it's not something they make a priority. If you try to make it a priority and you commit yourself to making that a part of the game plan, I think you can get it done. This offensive line is too good to not be able to do it well and figure it out. You got too much talent. You got too much talent on this team in general. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's criminal that this team doesn't have a legit running back screen game. Right, Alex, I feel you on that. Everybody on this line pulls, so you know they can move. Like, we don't question the athleticism of this offensive line. So I always wonder why haven't the Eagles been able to really execute a consistent screen game with their running backs in particular. We see them use screens with the tight ends and the wide receivers, the bubble screens. I hate those plays, but the running back screens, I never understood why we couldn't really make things happen with that. I still don't understand it. And I think it's just simply they don't make it a priority in this offense. But when you got a guy like Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, and AJ Dillon as your running backs, you should be able to generate, and you got this offensive line, you got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, you should be able to generate some level of a screen game. You really should. You know? So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to what these guys can do, the running backs in particular. Because I promise you, Saquon Barkley, he can't sustain that. 500 touches every season? Nah, you don't want that. You don't want that, man. I don't, at least. You know? And where is it? Joseph Satchel says it's the power run game. It's how they set up the play action passing and their RPO game. See, this team. But here's the thing, though, Joseph, because Joseph said he's okay without a screen game. But if you add the screen game to everything you mentioned here, right, that power run game, that play action, that RPO, right? If you add a screen game to this, if you add a little bit of finesse to this, you know how hard that'd be. You know how difficult it would be to defend the Eagles with that running back grouping, the versatility of the skill sets. I think that'd be so dope. Yeah, like it'll make us crazy dangerous. It'll make us crazy dangerous. And you got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like Dallas got like this Eagles team. That's why I'm so happy. I'm so happy being born and raised in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy that the Philadelphia Eagles are the team that I was raised to root for because it's in my blood, it's in my DNA. I'm so glad because I look at this Eagles team and I'm like, yo, who's stopping it on a consistent basis? Who's stopping it on a consistent basis? And, Jalen Hurts always says, just because we don't doesn't mean we can't. Well, look, we need to add a screen game to this offense. Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys a question. Because, again, I entered this conversation talking about Will Shipley and A.J. Dillon, but more specifically, Will Shipley, because I like Will Shipley. And in college, Will Shipley was an all-purpose guy. He had back-to-back seasons with over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. Can catch the ball from the backfield. He was a very dynamic back at Clemson. But let me ask you guys this question, right? With Kevin Patullo taking over this offense, and I don't expect Kevin Patullo to reinvent the wheel. I don't. But with Kevin Patullo taking over this offense, let me ask you guys a question. If there's any wrinkle that you would like to add to this offense, what would it be? As you guys already know, I told you I would like to see a more consistent passing game with the running backs, or at least a more versatile passing game that includes the running backs. I think that would make the Eagles harder to defend. I think that would make guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert that much harder to defend. You get some 21 personnel on the field, that makes it way easier for other guys, in my opinion, right? That gives Jalen Hurts more check down options, a more dynamic passing game. With Kevin Patullo taking over, what are some things you guys want to see more of? And before you answer, think about the personnel as it's currently built. Think about the roster, how it's presently built. What new wrinkles would you like to see Kevin Patullo add? You guys know what I want to see. Davon Tyree says, I want to see some more 2 tight end sets. Forte says the same thing, 12 personnel. Quentin Field says, I went insane with all those bubble screens to Smitty in 2023. Bro, dog, who you telling? And here's the thing, right? I love Smitty to death, but Smitty doesn't have that quick trigger, like that twitchy first step in terms of like yak. Smitty gets faster as he runs. You ever notice like Smitty runs with long strides or wide strides, and he doesn't have like that Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill twitchiness. He's quick. When he's running his routes, he has that quick first step, that in and out. Like he's fast, but Smitty doesn't have that twitch. You know what I mean? But the longer he runs, the faster he gets. There's a level of deception with his speed, but I don't think he has bubble screen speed. You feel me? I don't know. Am I tripping? Am I off when I say that about Smitty? I mean, correct me. Like, to me, when I watch him play, I see him get faster as he runs instead of just having that quick trigger like a Jalen Waddle. What you guys think about that? Like, he's so smooth, and on TV he doesn't look that fast, but I see him get faster as he runs. Yeah, he's not quick. He's smooth. He's smooth, and he doesn't overcomplicate things. When he gets the ball, he chooses his angles. He's not really shifty. He's not going to really juke you like that. He catches the ball, gets his yards, goes down. Deng says he looked pretty fast on the dagger. But like, to your point, right? Think about the distance he had to travel. He ultimately outran the DB, ultimately. But I'm talking about you get him that ball in the screen. How fast does it take for him to get to top speed? He has that long speed, but he doesn't have the craziest. You know what? Let's think about it like Madden, right? His top speed is probably like 90 in the 95, 96 range, but his acceleration is probably 89, 90. You feel me? Like his acceleration on Madden is probably like 89 or so. But his speed is probably 95, 96. Anthony Perry says he will route you up on long digs, post comebacks. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a fact. I think as a matter of fact, I think Smitty had, according to PFF, and sorry if there's any sort of Wi-Fi issues, you guys, but according to PFF, Smitty was ranked number 1 on, was it crossing routes? Was that what it was? I think Smitty was ranked number 1 in the league. He had the highest grade on crossing routes. And AJ Brown had the highest grade on, was it hitches? Was it hitches or was it like digs? Dang Bergen says Madden has Smitty's speed at 91 and acceleration at 94. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me see, though, because I saw that somewhere. PFF. All right, so, okay, here it is. So, I'm bringing this on screen real quick. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love. All right, so according to Pro Football Focus, AJ Brown had the highest grade on hitch routes. AJ Brown had the highest hitch route grade, right? And then when you get to Smitty had the highest grade on crossing routes. He had a 94.1 grade. So, I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense when you actually when you watch a lot of the Eagles highlights. I'm surprised they didn't give us AJ's grade on go balls or go routes. I'm curious what's his grade on those go balls. Because it seems like AJ and Jalen got those things down packed. Down packed, man. So, yeah, man. Look, the Philadelphia Eagles are blessed, bro. Justin Jefferson had the highest grade on breaking routes. Interesting. The highest grade on breaking routes. On in breaking routes. Okay. Jackson Smith and Jigba had the highest grade on corner routes. That's interesting as well. Who else we got here? It says here George Pickens had the highest grade on go routes. Really? 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 I wonder what AJ's grade was. Okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown was the best route. Excuse me. Amon-Ra St. Brown had the highest grade on outbreaking routes. So Justin Jefferson had the highest grade on in-breaking routes. Amon-Ra St. Brown has the highest grade on outbreaking routes. George Pickens has the highest grade on go balls. Devontae Smith has the highest grade on crossing routes. A.J. Brown has the highest grade on hitch routes. Jackson Smith and Jigba has the highest grade on corner routes. Is that what it was? Corner? On corner routes. What else? Mike Evans had the highest grade on slant routes. Wow. Brian Thomas Jr. had the highest grade on post routes. That's crazy. Brian Thomas Jr. is a beast, man. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, ultimately the Philadelphia Eagles, man, like to have two wide receivers on your team and they're two of the top guys on particular route concepts, that's pretty cool, man. But again, these guys are so dope, they're so dominant. Imagine you start including your running backs more in the passing game. Now, A.J. Brown is the number one wide receiver overall, according to PFF. He's the number one wide receiver in single coverage. There's no wide receiver in football that beats single coverage better than A.J. Brown. He's been that for the past 3 seasons. It's been that way since it's been with Jalen Hurts. So look, man. So, like the bottom line is, man, I look at this Eagles team and I ask myself, in what ways could they be better? In what ways could this offense take a leap forward? Because the league is always trying to catch up with you. The league is always slowly but surely figuring you out. What's the next step for this Eagles offense? I think you get the running backs more involved in the passing game. Because this Eagles team is so dominant, you don't got to do much. You don't got to do much. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Dillon back there with Will Shipley, this offensive line. You don't got to change but so much. But you do want to add a little wrinkle. You do want to add something to make the opposing defense think a little harder. And I think adding a solid screen game, adding some 21 personnel situations to this offense would really take this offense to a new level. A new level. I don't want to say higher level but a different level, a new level. You know? Tiffany says this Eagles team is ready for the season to start. I've seen it enough. I know that's right. Sure enough says, yeah, but the routes are graded after a completion. Hurts had 2,900 yards. Nobody's getting graded. I see what you're saying. Like, imagine some of the routes that imagine what they did when the ball didn't come their way or for whatever reason. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, look, there's so much food on the table. That's another thing too, right? As good as Jalen Hurts was after the bye week, right? Because the first 4 weeks he was very up and down. But as good as he was overall, the playoffs, so on and so forth, Jalen Hurts left a lot of food on the table in 2024. I think we all could agree with that. He left a lot of food on the table. Granted, Saquon didn't leave much left to eat. Saquon had a crazy season. And when you got a guy playing like that, you got to feed it. You got to feed him. But in the passing game, I do believe Jalen Hurts left some food on the table. And I think he knows that as well. So I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts does in 2025. I'm excited to see what Will Shipley and AJ Dillon can do with the opportunities they're going to get. Because I promise you, Saquon's not going to get 500 touches again. Well, 482 to be exact, but you know what I mean. He's not going to get 480 touches again. I just don't see that happening. I don't. Now, his touches are going to be interesting to see how it pans out, though. I think he's going to get more receptions this year. That's what I think. Yeah. By the way, you guys, Alex says that A.J. Brown hitch route is guaranteed 7 to 8 yards. Yo, facts. And the thing about A.J. Brown, what makes A.J. Brown so funny to watch sometimes, when he catches those hitch routes, I love when A.J. just stops in his tracks and makes the defender miss. Like sometimes I'd be like, how are you missing these tackles? A.J. Brown is right there. But A.J. Brown is slippery, yo. He's slippery. For a big dude, he can make you miss. I love seeing A.J. Brown make guys miss right after the catch. And it's always this simple ass move. And you know what I think it is too? Dank, I think you bring up a good point here. He says they run past him. I love that. He's so quick. I think this is the problem. I think because he's such a big dude, I think he's such a big dude, right? I think defenders are trying so hard to just tackle him. They're trying so hard to hit him. And I think he takes advantage of that. I think that's what I think they try so hard to just hit him with everything they have. When he stops on a dime, they miss. Does that make sense to y'all? He's a hard guy to bring down. So I think defenders are trying so hard to make sure they don't miss the tackle, they end up missing the tackle. Chip says, I hate that stopping in the middle of the field. That's how dudes get smacked. He does do that. Sometimes he'll catch like a crossing route or an in-breaking route. And like when he catches it, sometimes he'll stop and try to break the other direction and shift the ankles or shift the entire defense in one direction. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. When in chip season, to your point, when he does do that, I'm always like, yo, please don't fumble. Please don't fumble. And it's not like AJ got a fumbling problem, but it's like, oh my God, please, just run and go down. Just go down, dog. Just go down. You know what I mean? But AJ is such a playmaker. When you got a guy like that who can just make plays, you gotta let him do him, man. You gotta let him do him. But chip season, I understand your frustration with that because every now and again I'm like, bro, just keep running or just go down or whatever it is. I'm like, you're giving me anxiety, dog. I can't take it. I can't take it. Oh my God. Sometimes AJ give me so much anxiety, man. But I love that dude, bro. I love watching AJ play. He's so exciting, dog. Deng says, yeah, like when you try not to get hurt, you get hurt. Yeah, bro. I want AJ to play AJ style football. But chip season, bro, he give me anxiety sometimes. I can't front. I cannot front, bro. I can't front at all. Deng says, bro, how did we get AJ and Saquon? I still have dreams about it. I'm like, yo, how? I wake up every morning and I'm like, yo, I'm an Eagles fan. Oh, yeah, we got AJ. Oh, yeah, we got Devontae. Oh, yeah, we got this guy. We got Saquon. We got Jalen Hurts. We Super Bowl champions. Oh, I'm always like, just like, yo, how, Sway? How, Sway? Bro. Everything as far as drafting Jalen Hurts, trading AJ Brown, Devontae's, drafting Devontae, drafting Dallas Goedert, and signing Saquon, all those decisions I feel validated. I feel validated, bro. Because sometimes, you know how many teams spend so many assets trying to build their roster and they just can't get over the hump? You know how many teams build spectacular rosters and they just don't get it done? It feels so good to have to be a fan of a team that really invested in the roster, that's invested in winning, and they maximized the roster and they got it done. Got it done. Like that's such a reassuring feeling. You know how, like, look, no disrespect, but you know how frustrating it is to be probably a Bills fan or a Ravens fan when you know you got the quarterback, you got the defense, you got the coaching, you got the offensive line. You know how frustrating it must be to be a team that has everything you need to win and you just can't get it done. The Detroit Lions had the offense, they had the defense before it got hurt. The coaching right before they all left. You know, you had the running back duo, you had the receivers. Like, you know how frustrating it is to believe you have everything you need to win it all and you fumble the bag. It feels good knowing the Philadelphia Eagles didn't fumble the bag. Sure, can I point out moments throughout the season where things looked a little funny in the light? Can I point out moments in the playoffs where it was a close call? Well, guess what? Show me a Super Bowl run where the Super Bowl champions didn't have a close call. It's par for the course. Those other teams get paid too, right? Close calls happen in the playoffs. There's always going to be a game in the playoffs where you get pushed to the brink and things could have been different, but you took advantage of opportunities and you ultimately became champions. There's not a single Super Bowl run that doesn't have theater. There's not a single Super Bowl run in history that didn't have you on the edge of your seat. Everybody got pushed to the edge at some point. In 2017, 2018, that Super Bowl run, that Atlanta Falcons game in the divisional round, we got pushed to the edge. We got pushed to the brink. That came close. That came down to one play. Just like the Rams game, came down to one play. Or a drive, whatever it is. And then Eagles dominated in the NFC Championship and against the Vikings. And then the Super Bowl came down to the brink. That was a close call. Then the Eagles were dominant against the Commanders, right? Jalen Hurts and those boys was going crazy. And then they got dominant against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Like different playoff runs have their different temperatures and flavors and so on and so forth. But dog, get it done when you get it done. That's why I'm glad the Eagles maximized this roster, bro. I ain't got no complaints about nothing. Dang Bergang says, that's the best part about it. It all paid off. Yeah, man. He says from the loss in 22 where they had the game won, then 23 when it seemingly was over, to smoking the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Bro, that's storybook. That's storybook. That's a beautiful story to tell your kids. That's a beautiful story. Tiffany says, what's the status of the bounty? Smitty being in the league, isn't he the only player to do something? Wait, typo, Smitty. I'm trying to understand. Is he the only player to do something? I'm trying to understand. I don't know what you. I don't know. I don't get it, Tiff. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Ding Berging says Jalen is 13-6 when throwing 35 plus times. That's not a bad record. Ding says, I want another one. Who you telling, bro? X-Ray says, Tone, what's your favorite ice cream? I'm a big cookies and cream guy. Cookies and cream. So, okay, growing up, as a kid, it was chocolate. And then when I discovered cookies and cream, that took over. Cookies and cream is my favorite ice cream flavor. Then it's chocolate. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And then my third varies. I mean, see, I'm a basic guy. I'm a very simple guy. So, I don't do mint chocolate chip. I don't really do all those crazy flavors. I'm not really a big Ben and Jerry's guy. You know how Ben and Jerry's has all those different unique flavors. I don't really get too crazy with those. Moose Tracks is good. Cookie dough is good. It's good, right? But I'm a very simple guy, man. My wife hates it, by the way. She hates how basic I am. For me, like for example, when I eat donuts, just give me glaze, man. Give me a glazed donut. I'm basic like that. Oh, butter pecan. My dad loves butter pecan ice cream. Loves butter pecan. And actually, butter pecan is actually pretty good. Butter pecan is actually pretty good. King JJ says I only rock with soft serve chocolate. Show enough says coffee. Looking for Sasuke says strawberry shortcake ice cream from the Chinese store. Yo, yo, I used to get ice cream from the Chinese store all the time. Yo, it's something about getting your ice cream from the Chinese store in Philly. They put it in the little styrofoam cups, and then they put the wax paper on top. Then they put it in the brown paper bag. Oh, taking me back. You're taking me back. You're taking me back. Who's gotten ice cream from the Chinese store before? In Philly. Yo, they put that ice cream in them styrofoam cups, bruh. That wax paper on top. You put it in the brown paper bag. Yo, come on, man. Come on now. Come on. Shout out to y'all, man. We having some fun today. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I knew it was something I wanted to ask you guys. So I'm thinking about doing reaction videos to like highlights. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about I'm thinking about adding reaction videos to the channel, reacting to game highlights, throughout the season and reacting to um player highlights, all that kind of stuff. Like, how would you guys feel about that? How would you guys feel about me doing that? Because I think that'd be pretty cool. Chip said about time. Yo, fuck out of here, Chip. Yo, Chip, go ahead, man. Kick rocks, Chip. He said about time. Yo. Yo, Chip, I want you to know you ain't shit. You ain't shit, Chip. Listen, the reason, all right, I'll be honest with you guys, right? I make money from YouTube, it pays my bills. And my fear has always been I don't want to get flagged. Like I don't want to get strikes on my channel. That's always been my fear. So that's why I kind of refrain from using highlights and footage, in my stuff. I recently started using clips in like the videos I make. I recently started doing that, but one of the reasons I kind of was hesitant is because I didn't want to get flagged. But I'm learning more and more about fair use. I'm learning more and more about, copyright and all that kind of stuff. And there's a way to get around it. You just got to make sure that you're really commentating over the video and you got yourself in the video and not not just letting it play. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm learning more and more about it. And I was just nervous about copyright strikes. I was just nervous. So Chip, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, Chip. Dang. But no, I think I'm gonna start doing that, man, I think because I watch a lot of them myself. Janky Rondo Janky Rondo is one of my favorite guys to watch. I think Janky Rondo was hilarious. I love his content. I like the TR family. The TR family is dope too. I think their content is super dope. Let me see. That's what they call, right? The TR family. Because I was just watching a video. Who else I'll be watching? Trying to think. Let me go to my history. I think it is TR family. Yeah, the TR family. I watch them. They're hilarious. Chip says all these non-Eagles fans reacting to Eagles stuff is crazy work, bro. Because we're good. We're good. We're that good. Donnie says my man Jalen Hunt gonna have 10 sacks. So I think Jalen Hunt is gonna have a season this year. I really do. I think Jalen Hunt is gonna have a crazy. I think he's gonna have like maybe 7 sacks this year, 8 sacks. Dank Bergen says, I watch the Cowboys fans' reaction to Eagles games all the time. Bro, me too. I love watching Cowboys fans or Commanders fans react to our stuff. I love that. I love it. I actually love watching non-Eagles fans watch Eagles stuff because they really be like amazed. They either be amazed or they be mad. And it tickles me. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, bro. So Chip, it is crazy work, but I love watching opposing fan bases react to our stuff because it's funny to me. It's always funny to me. Still never says I think Ojulari is going to go off. Yo, he's another guy that I think is going to have a really good season. You know, I think Ojulari, he's going to be that rotational edge rusher. And look, it's going to be dependent on who's the most dominant. And look, you don't be surprised if Ojulari gets more snaps than Jalen Hunt, and Jalen Hunt is the rotational guy. Don't be surprised. And that's not taking nothing away from Jalen, but I'm just saying, like, Ojulari, he's a good player. He's a good player. So, and he's proven that he can get sacks. Ojulari has proven that regardless of what goes down, he can get you between 5 to 8 sacks, between 6 to 8 sacks a season. He's proven that. But I think Jalen Hunt's going to have a good season. I think Ojulari is going to have a good season as well. You know what I mean? Alex says, you ever watch The Pit on HBO Max? No, I never watched it. I heard about it, though. I heard The Pit is one of the most accurate like medical shows on television. I heard it does a pretty good job of taking you into the ER. They say it's one of the most accurate, one of the most realistic medical shows or medical dramas, you know, on television. So I've heard good things about it, but I've never watched it myself. I never watched it myself. As of right now, though, I'm watching My Hero Academia right now. I'm on season 7. Season 8 is supposed to drop this year. I think season 8 drops in a couple months or about a month, something like that. But that's kind of what I'm locked in on right now. I'm really locked in on My Hero Academia right now because it's getting real. It's getting real, bro. Season 8 about to drop. I can't wait for that. October. Oh, it's October. Okay, bet. So I got time. Yeah, I'm on season 7 right now. Yo, season 6 was crazy. Like season 6 was probably the best season. Like, just saying. Because, you know, My Hero Academia, it kind of has like that. It can be a little comic booky, right? Like it can seem a little low stakes. But season 6, the stakes never felt so high in my life. Season 6 was nuts. Like that fight between who was it? Season 6 was so crazy. What was that fight? That fight between Hawks And Dobby was crazy. Who else, bro? That fight between Stars and Stripe at the beginning of season 7, Stars and Stripe versus All for One was crazy. What I liked about season 6 also was you really saw you like they really allowed class 1A to shine. Like they did a real good job allowing the entire class to shine. Yo, Endeavor versus the Yo, what was at the end of season? Was that the end of season 5 or season 4? Endeavor versus the Nomu? Dog. In the city, right? Endeavor versus the Nomu when they was in the city. Him and Hawks, I think they were talking to something like that. And out of nowhere, the Nomu attacked the building in the middle of the city. And bro, that's, in my opinion, I think that's the best fight I've seen in My Hero Academia. That's the best fight. That's the best fight for sure. That fight was hard. I love going back and rewatching those episodes because Endeavor was in his bag, bro. Endeavor is a problem. But season 7 or season 6 was interesting because you finally saw the most vulnerable version of Endeavor. I never thought I would see Endeavor. I don't want to say fold, but when Dobby got exposed for being Toya, his long lost son that they thought died, yo, Endeavor, he was frozen. We only seen Endeavor freeze twice. But no, Endeavor is that boy. Yeah, that's a good fight too, Alex. The final fight between All for One and One for All. I do wish we could have got more One for All or more All Might. I would have loved this. I would have loved to have seen more All Might, but I think they felt like All Might wasn't as dynamic of a character as Endeavor. Because I will say Endeavor as the number 1 hero is way more interesting. It's way more compelling. I think Endeavor is a more compelling character than All Might. Everything with the family, where he sacrificed to be the number 1, where he sacrificed to be great. I think Endeavor is a more compelling character than All Might. Deng says, "Did you see the trailer for season 8?" No, I didn't see the trailer. I didn't see the trailer for it. I actually been avoiding it. I didn't even watch the new movie that came out. My Hero Academia, they just came out with a new movie. And I didn't even get a chance to watch it yet. Anyway, though, I done went on for like 15 minutes talking about My Hero Academia, man. We here to talk Eagles. We here to talk Eagles, man. But look, y'all, I really do appreciate the love and support. You guys are phenomenal, man. Alex says, "You watch any other anime?" Yeah, I do. What am I watching right now? Like I said, I've been locked in on certain stuff. I've been locked in on Lazarus. Lazarus is one of my favorite new animes right now. I love Lazarus. Are you guys familiar with Lazarus? Lazarus is dope. It was created by the same guy that created Cowboy Bebop. What else am I watching right now? Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is the shit, obviously. What's another one I just got finished watching? I've been rewatching Bleach lately. I've been rewatching Bleach because Bleach: The 1,000-Year War is out right now. Jujutsu Kaisen is great. What's that anime that I was watching? What's it called? One of my favorite animes of all time is Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, Trigun. Yeah, I'm taking it back. Like those 2000s animes. I gotta find out what the name of that anime was on Hulu that I watched. I finished it in like 2 days. What was it? What was it? Fire Force. I watched Fire Force. Fire Force is my shit right now. I love Fire Force. Let me see what else. Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works is my Samurai Champloo. I watched that. Dragon Ball Daima, Inuyasha. Obviously, I'm a big Naruto fan. Trying to think what else we got here. Dororo is a good anime. That's a real good anime. On Hulu, it's called Dororo. Sandland is pretty good. Akame Got Kill is good. Have you guys ever watched Akame Got Kill? Akame Got Kill is really good. It's on Hulu. If you never watched Akame Got Kill, watch that. Hunter x Hunter is great. Yo, y'all know what I heard is good? I never watched it yet. My brother loves it. It's called what is it? Dan to Dan. My brother been telling me to watch Dan to Dan for a minute, and everybody seems to like it. Is it really that good? Dan to Dan. I heard it was good, but is it really like that? Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix was crazy. That's a good John too. I heard that was like a one-off though, like a limited series. I heard they're not making a season 2. But is Dan to Dan that good? Who's watched that? Alex said, okay. All right, bet. Say less. I'm gonna get into that because I heard that was good. I just didn't get into it yet. Psycho Pass is a great anime as well. Have any of you guys ever watched Psycho Pass? That's really good. I used to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I kind of lost track of it. Dr. Stone is my shit. I love Dr. Stone as well. Yu Yu Hakusho, one of my favorite animes of all time. I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't get enough love. But yeah, I love Dr. Stone as well. Tony says, do y'all watch Godfather of Harlem? No, I never watched it. Yo, I heard of Solo Leveling. I heard Solo Leveling is that work. I didn't get into that yet. Quentin Fields. Oh, so they are releasing a new Cyberpunk anime project because originally I heard that they weren't. Tokyo Ghoul is fire. Tokyo Ghoul is fire. That's a good joint too. I love Afro Samurai. It's one of my favorite animes as well. Black Clover is good. I didn't finish it, but Black Clover is good. What else we got here? Trying to think. Yo, matter of fact, before I get out of here, did you guys watch that new Devil May Cry on Netflix? That thing's actually good. You know, some people, I feel like, I mean, I've heard people either like it or they don't. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but me personally, that Devil May Cry anime on Netflix is fire, bro. That new one, not the OG one, but the OG one is good too. But that new one, yo, that's a good joint, right? That's a good joint right there. Devil May Cry on Netflix. Give it a try. It's good. It's real good. I heard Preacher was good. Isn't it the AMC show? Preacher. Is Tracker good? Dang Bergen says manga fans hate the Tokyo Ghoul anime. Wow. You know, sometimes it'd be like that though. It'd be like that, man. What else is out there that I like? Before I get out of here. Yeah, man. Like it's so many animes out there. I don't really know where else to take it, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, my favorite anime of all time is Full Metal Alchemist. I love Full Metal. My favorite anime is Full Metal, Cowboy Bebop, Naruto, DBZ. I'm a DBZ kid. Like I grew up off of that. I grew up on Digimon. You know what I mean? Samurai Champloo, Rurouni Kenshin. I love Rurouni Kenshin. Case Closed. Soul Eater. Sword Art Online. Yeah, man. But look, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate the love. You guys have been great. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. As always, I appreciate the love and the support. I am going to start doing some reaction videos, the highlights. So I think that'd be pretty cool. So I appreciate y'all for liking on the content. And it's straight like that. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Flag was fly, y'all.